Welcome to Oryx Learning. Today's lesson is on Unit 1, Real Numbers, Lesson 9, Estimate Roots. A local apartment building is on fire, and a cat is trying to escape from a third-floor window. If it is 36 feet off the ground, how long do you have from the time it jumps to the time you need to catch it? If you would like to see how much time you have, please follow along with the lesson, and we will revisit this problem at the end. Estimating square and cube roots. In order to estimate square roots or cube roots, use the following steps. 1. Find the largest perfect square or perfect cube less than the given number. 2. Find the smallest perfect square or perfect cube greater than the given number. 3. Plot each square root or cube root on a number line. And 4. Estimate which value the given number is closer to. Let's start off with evaluate the square root of 49. A square root of a number is one of its two equal factors. So you want to find a number such as 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, etc. that are perfect squares because they are squares of integers. So in this case, we know that 7 times 7 is 49. Therefore, the square root of 49 will be 7. Evaluate the cube root of 125. A cube root of a number is one of its three equal factors. So you're looking for numbers such as 8, 27, and 64 that are perfect cubes because they are the cubes of integers. When we look at the cube root of 125, we know that 125 is 5 times 5 times 5. So there are three of the same numbers, three equal factors. So the cube root is just 5. We could also say that 5 times 5 times 5 is 5 to the third, and a cube root and a cube undo each other because they are inverse operations, just like multiplication and division. Estimate the square root of 90 to the nearest whole number. The square root of 90, if we follow our steps, we want to find the perfect square less than the given value. So square root of 81 is less than 90. The square root of 81 is 9. Then I want to find the smallest perfect square greater than the value given. So the smallest perfect square over 90 would be 100. The square root of 100 is 10. Comparing the numbers on the number line, we can see that the square root of 90 is closer to 81 than it is 100. So to estimate the square root of 90, we will say the square root of 90 is approximately 9. Estimate the cube root of 30 to the nearest whole number. So again, in order to estimate a cube root, we want to follow the steps given. So the first step was to find the largest perfect cube less than the given value. So the largest perfect cube less than 30 is 27. The cube root of 27 is 3. Next, we want to find the smallest perfect cube greater than the given value. So the smallest perfect cube greater than 30 is 64. The cube root of 64 is 4. Comparing these on the number line, we can see that the cube root of 30 is closer to 27. Therefore, the cube root of 30 we will estimate to approximately 3. The volume of a cube is 350 centimeters cubed. Estimate the length of one side of the cube. So first we need to set up an equation. Our equation for volume of a cube is V equals S to the third. Next we need to substitute in the values given. 350 centimeters was known to be the volume. Now we have to isolate the variable by taking the cube root of each side. The reason we take the cube root is because the cube root and a cube are inverse operations and they will undo one another. So the cube root of s to the third is just s, and the cube root of 350 we need to estimate. We can estimate by finding the largest perfect cube less than the given value, so 343. The cube root of 343 is 7. Next we can find the smallest perfect cube greater than the given value. So the smallest perfect cube greater than 350 is 512. The cube root of 512 is 8. Comparing those numbers on a number line, we can see that 350 is much closer to 343. Therefore, the cube root of 350 we will estimate to approximately 7 centimeters. So back to our local apartment. Our local apartment building is on fire and a cat is trying to escape from the third floor window. If it is 36 feet off the ground, how long do we have from the time it jumps to the time we need to catch it? We can use the formula t equals the square root of h over 4, which if we put our 36 feet in, the square root of 36 over 4, the square root of 36 is 6, and 6 over 4 reduces to 3 over 2. So we will have approximately 1.5 seconds to catch our falling cat. So let's stop and reflect. What is the difference between an exact value and an approximate value when finding square roots of numbers that are not perfect squares? The exact value of a non-perfect square is not rational, so you cannot write the exact value in decimal notation. You can use an approximation by rounding the decimal to a given place. That is our lesson, and I hope you enjoyed.